the day I met her in Mauritius. Well, let's start off from the beginning of what I'm currently doing now. Today I woke up and I started my usual routine of first going to the gym, and then, as you saw in the beginning of the video, I was sitting down in a restaurant waiting to get my food, and now I'm walking back to my apartment. What you didn't see in the beginning of this video was me asking the two people at the restaurant of what food should I try, and I was listening to their suggestions while another person came from behind who was waiting for her food suggested I try something different than what they said, which is what I finally got, and you'll see soon. But our initial conversation was about food, and that conversation led to where I'm from, and then from there we exchanged social media, and we decided to meet up later, of meeting at the mall, in which you'll see very soon. And if you haven't already, check out my previous video of my beach review, because in that video I explained why I thought it was the best decision for me to stay in the non-tourist area near the beach versus where I'm staying at now, because I think if I would have stayed at the beach, I would have never encountered her, and I wouldn't have gotten the experiences that I've gotten so far by staying in this area near downtown. So if you're thinking about traveling here, make sure you do your own research. Use Google, use YouTube as a source to see different people's perspectives and opinions, and to see if they actually show you where they're staying in the areas, and you just make your decision from there. Because if this was somewhere in South America like Brazil or Colombia and it's a beach there, most definitely I would stay on the beach or near the beach. But here in Port Louis is a different story. Now let's talk about the food I got. I got some chicken with carrots, lettuce, tomatoes, different spices. It was very, very good. If you like spiceful type of foods, you're gonna like the foods here in Mauritius. So now my day continues. I went to the gym, got lunch. I met a new friend in which we have made plans to meet later today at the shopping mall. But before we get into all that good stuff, you might be wondering of how Mauritius money looks. So I'm going to show you. If you're coming from the US, the money conversion to 1 USD to the Mauritian rupee is right here. And the conversion is awesome. And if you're coming from Europe, the conversion rate is even better. So let's look right here at the money. So this is Mauritian money. I took a shower and now I'm walking downtown to take a taxi to the Bagatelle Mall to meet my friend. This is the mall that she suggested. And we decided not to meet up too late because she wants to take me on an adventure before the sunset to other places that she wanted to show me that she suggested that I see. And if you watched my first impressions video of Mauritius, I talked about using an app called Yugo, or you could use another ride-sharing app since there is no Uber here in Mauritius. But to be honest with you, after using it from the airport to my apartment, I have not used it again. Why? Because everything I need is only 15 minutes of walking to be in the mix of the city, where there's taxis here, the waterfront is here, lots of restaurants are here. So I don't really see the need to use it as of yet since of my location. Now since I got a taxi, we're heading to the mall. Here we are. This is Bagatelle Mall, and it's pretty much situated in the central part of Mauritius, which makes it accessible to the various regions of the city. As we walk along, you'll see a diverse range of different types of stores. There's lots of stores that have international brands to local boutiques. And the mall is just not for a shopping destination. You also have a movie theater, and you have lots of fine dining opportunities to indulge in. And as I mentioned, you will see not just global brands as like in Fila, but you'll see also local brands. We finally found each other, and now we're about to get something to eat. When it comes to Mauritian foods, as I mentioned in my first video, when you have a diverse culture, you're going to have a fusion of different types of foods and spices. So the foods here has always been good to me. From the different types of curries and the different types of tomato-based sauces. You have these, I don't know what it's called, it's like a deep fried lentil fritter type of thing that tastes real good, but you have different types of options here, which makes this a good food destination if you're a foodie. And because of you have the culture reflecting to the Indian influence, you have the good old biryani. Biryani is a fragrant type of rice that you can smell all the spices. You can add meat to it if you want. You just have so many options here when it comes to foods. You cannot go wrong once you come here. Also, when it comes to food, given it's an island location, you cannot forget that Mauritius offers an abundance of fresh seafood. So if you're thinking about grilled fish, octopus curry, or a seafood salad, once you visit, you have to try it. It's a must. Also, if you want to try something a little bit more different, I would suggest also going to Chinatown and try some Chinese Mauritian dishes.
Specifically, do you want us to try to reset it? I'm like, sure. They're like, it's a chance that everything might get deleted. And I was like, shit.
That's why I never go for the reset.
Like,
I have a phone at home.
I'm like, what are my options? They said, well, that's it. So I said, okay. And they did it, and guess what happened?
You lost everything.
Fucking everything.
Oh, shit. Because that's why I don't like the reset thing. I have a phone at home, and it's all working. It's just sleeping there. But I've been trying to turn it on, but I don't want to take it to a repair shop yet because I know they're gonna try and reset it.
So the backstory on that is I have a second iPhone, and I kept getting the Apple logo pop up, but it wouldn't disappear, so I was unable to get into the phone. So I was informed to reset it, and after it was reset, I lost everything. All my photos, videos, saved music, some of my important files, all wiped out, all gone. So it's like I have a brand new phone now. But it's okay because that's my second phone. I do have another phone, but it was a lot of memories that was lost, but oh well. Now, from walking and talking, what we decided to do was not take a taxi. She wanted me to get the experience of riding on the bus here in Mauritius, which I never had thought of. So again, I'm glad that we met. And this is just a result of what comes with meeting local people versus, I know some people like staying in hostels meeting people, but when you're in that environment, you're just meeting other travelers like yourself versus meeting the local people, which is important in my case. This bus ride was a fun experience. I mean, I can feel every bump. It kind of reminds me of my first time taking a bus in Brazil. I felt every bump, but it's all about the experience because, believe it or not, if we would have never met, I don't really think I would have took the bus. I would have stuck with walking and taxis. But again, it's about the experience. So if you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. And if you have not watched my other videos here in Mauritius, check those out as well. And until then,